Alrighty, guys. So let's look at this one. So for the first question, here comes the first question. Okay, and then the choices are A through D. So I want you to try to do look at this question and then see what you guys can do first. If you have an answer, you let me know. Choices are literally A, B, C, D. That's it. All right, I'm seeing some answers here. Okay. Alrighty, guys. So as you guys can see, the question in itself is not that difficult. The math that we're gonna do is not that difficult. Only thing that which you have to worry about is, hey, uh, let me make sure I read the question carefully. That's the first and most important thing. Second, after I read the question, is there any particular way that which we can do that is more effective than others? That's it. So then, let's try to look at this one, guys, for a second. Uh, for which of the 4 days was the total commute time to and from work the greatest? So that means this is what? Commute time from work, commute time to work. Total in this case, we talks about the sum. Sum has to be the greatest. So guess what, guys? What many people would have done is they would try to find the coordinates for each one, and then you're gonna add them up to see the greatest. That's perfectly fine, and that's how I'm sure many people would have done it. Okay. Now, but the thing is, okay, given that, let me just try to pick something here. This B, for example, is around somewhere between these two, isn't it? 30 to 45. So let us say, how about maybe 40 as an example, right? And then Y component is about 40 as well. Oh, so it's 80. Do you see what I'm saying, guys? But as I'm doing this, I have two issues already. I have to estimate, and it's annoying. And then what if I estimate them wrong? I can make mistakes. But still, when you look at solution for this one, chances are that, hey, find the coordinates for each and every point and add them up, and then give me the biggest value. That's your answer. So I'm done. A second method that I want you to look at is this. In these kind of questions. Hey guys, this I can consider this one as x, and then this one consider as y, isn't it? Sum has to be the greatest. What does that mean by sum has to be the greatest? Now, so what I'm doing right now is I'm trying to give you more insight than what the question is looking for. So essentially, did you realize that x plus y is equal to sum? Are you guys with me so far? This basically means y equals negative x plus sum, meaning slope is -1 and sum is the y-intercept. For example, slope is -1 and sum is y-intercept. Guess what, guys? Once again, what I'm about to do is not necessary. I understand you can get the answers without what I'm doing, but what I'm about to do can actually enhance your understanding and then problem solving skills. So if you assume that x plus y equals sum, guess what? This will be x plus y equals 45. Are you guys with me so far? What if my sum is equal to 60? Then all I have to do is this. That's my sum being equal to 60. How about this one? Sum is about this much. B is the smallest one, isn't it? And then after that it's A, because you know why? Y-intercept is keep on increasing. And how about this one? D has a, when I drew the line D, C is even above that. No wonder C has the highest sum by simply analyzing the picture with y equals negative x, or the way that I prefer is y plus x equals the sum. That concept is actually a little bit different from how what you call it the solution of this book might probably have, but it can give us a great insight about this one as well. Is that clear, guys? So what I'm trying to do is in the reading. Bottom line is this: when you read data, it's all about you have to read the data carefully. That's the bottom line. We get that. As soon as you get that done, then we are happy. Everything's done. But I see in our group we have mixture of the what you call abilities. So what I want to do is I want to give you textbook-like solution and also insightful way of looking at it as well. I want to try to give you as much as much as I can, as I cover textbook-like solution and textbook-like approaches, and then more advanced approaches. Let me try to give you both. All right. So many of you guys got the answer correct. That's the bottom line. We got it done. Very nice. But just wanted to share a little bit more about that question. Now, what if I were to give you the next one here? Okay. So how about this one, guys? So let me just give you a couple minutes for you to look at this one. All right. All right. So I'm getting some answers, which is great. All righty, guys. So if you have an answer, commit to it. Okay. Okay. I have good number of answers here. Good. Very nice. All right. Now, as you guys can see, the math that's involved in this one is not that difficult. It's a matter of reading it. Usually that's the case for you know, data analysis in SAT. You know, by the way, as you guys might know, the SAT subject test has been canceled, at least for now, right? You guys know about this. So, unfortunately, I mean, for the students who are advanced, actually, that sucks. You know why? Because you could have put one more thing that you can distinguish yourself from all the others, by sharing a strong performance on subject test. But that, you don't have that route anymore, at least for now. So that kind of sucks. That means importance in SAT is actually now greater a little bit, even though it's still optional for certain colleges. The fact that if you can show them, hey, I can ace this one, or I can do very high on this regular SAT. That's actually very, very, very important now, more than before. All right, now so let's try to look at this one, guys. In this case, the, when you guys read this, make sure, this is what I tell the students. This When you look at this question, many times they try to start reading from here. No, no, no. I want you to start from here. I need you to start reading from the graph. And make sure you read the labels and titles. Is that clear, guys? Why do you have to read titles and then labels altogether? Because it is this. You rather read everything and slow down just a little bit and read it once and then get it over with. Versus you don't read these things, and then if that happens, guess what? You have to read it over and over again. You actually, many times, you have to read the question 3, 4 times to make sense out of it, which takes longer time, by the way. You're trying to hurry up, but you end up taking more time. Do you see what I'm saying, guys? And that's the context where many of us get the questions wrong. And at the end, we say, oh, whoops, I misread it. But even the misreading needs a skill in terms of SAT. Just slow down and then read every title and labels as well, and then read it once or at most twice. That's much faster than you trying to read the question 3 or 4 times quickly and skimming through and having greater chance of making mistakes. So now, make sure you read all those titles and everything else. Now, when I look at the question, it says, turns out blah blah blah, and in which two year period was the difference? Oh, okay. I'm talking about the difference in voter turnout between congressional election and presidential election, the smallest. So between these two things has to be the smallest, but it's not about 1 year. It's about the period of the time. The difference in this case talks about horizontal difference, isn't it? How big it is. But in this particular case, the way it is written, what we are looking for is, we're looking for the area. Under what interval are we going to have the smallest interval? Oh, I realize that it's very close right over here in the middle. Would you agree? So then, okay, then where do I have the smallest area? Oh, I have smallest area right over here. And that's becoming my answer, which is choice C. Is that clear, guys? So only because they're talking about the period of the time, that's why you have to go for the smallest area. And then you can compare, how about here to here, even though that wasn't part of my choices. Here to here was the difference would be looking at the area. This is more like a parallelogram. This is more like a trapezoid. This one has bigger area than this one, so we would have chose this one in this context. All right? So that's another thing that which we could have done. All right, guys, let's practice with a couple more questions here. All righty, how about this? Let me give you a couple of minutes for you to look at it and then see what happens. Okay, I have a little bit of mixed answers, but once again, it might be matter of seeing it, reading the data carefully. Please take your time. All right. Okay, nice. Good, good, good. So I'm getting a little bit mixed answers here and there. But I think it's not because of the math, but I think it might be because of the what do you call it? My voice is weird. Okay, let me try to go back and forth. How about now? Is it okay, guys? Is the voice okay? Yeah, better. Okay, good. Yeah, thank you. I yeah, I have two systems going back and forth. Somehow, sometimes it connects, or sometimes they turn me into a robot. You never know. I may be a robot. Yeah, you cannot tell. Yeah, actually, I've only seen you through the screen. Some of you guys actually I've seen you about a year now through the screen, and then the other day I was talking to my brother. By the way, my brother is Kevin, and then I was really surprised that by looking at you, I have no idea how tall, how short you are, and then all those other things, and then wow, some of you guys are pretty tall. I hear. Yeah, I was like, wow, never knew that. All right, but anyways, uh, you don't know. You've only seen me through digital media, so I may be actually a robot. I might be AI that's teaching you math. Who knows, right? Okay, so let's look at this one. Even in this question, as I mentioned, it's not really about calculations per se, but it's about reading. Because in my opinion, many of us know how to calculate if you read it carefully. In this question, we are looking at it. Okay, according to the graph, the total precipitation in September. Where do I have September record? This is the total, and then in the month September, right over here. Can you see that, guys? Which becomes 150. And then was what percent of total precipitation in June? June, right over here. Do you see that, guys? That's June. Now, in this case, then whatever we are referring, that goes to the denominator. So we get 150 here. That's the numerator, September, and then 250, which is the denominator. So what you can do is you can just calculate by dividing them, or you can what you call it, multiply top and bottom by 4. One way or the other, you guys get to realize it's the 60 over what? 100. You get 60%, right? All right. Yeah, yeah. In fact, thank you for saying that. One of you guys mentioned that, hey, because one of the popular answer was 40%, believe it or not. It wasn't one person, it was several people, you know. And then my question is, hey, then did they calculate things incorrectly? No. For example, if you read this number, which is what, let us say 370, all right? 360, 370. So 370, actually 150 divided by 370 as an example. Then it would have been similar to 40%. So I got a lot of 40% as the answer. What was the issue? Misreading it. That's why we want you to slow down a little bit in these type of questions. You don't have to hurry up, because when you hurry, and then when you got this, those of you who got 40 as the answer, my guess is most of you guys probably got 40 because, as one of the students shared with me just now, probably because they read the wrong point. You know, so how frustrating at times this would have been if this one were to be the real SAT. Man, you could have gotten 700, but you end up getting 690. Dang it. You know, and So likewise, make sure you read it carefully. In these kind of questions, math is not that difficult. You just have to focus is the reading. And that's what the focus of College Board is as well. Okay? They want to see you read carefully. That's about it. All right. Let's try to go for one more. All right? All right. So here it goes, guys. Oh, yeah, please, please. So once again, don't forget, guys, in these type of questions, we get faster by reading slower. All right. Yes, good, good. In this case, actually, I've been getting all the same answers, and that is correct answer. Good job, you guys. But once again, it's not up. When you guys can realize that is it that much of difficult mathematics? No, just we just have to read them carefully. Good, good. All right, guys. So for which of the city did the researchers underestimate the population? So underestimated the population. That means what? Estimation has to be lower than actual. So what's the estimation? The dark one is the estimation. Actual is the lighter color. So dark one has to be less than the actual, which is this one, and that's it. San Diego, one only. That's why choice A would have been the answer. Now, so in this case, if I were to ask you one question, how many calculations have I done? Not much. Not much. Only thing that I have done was just read the graph and then reasoning from that graph. It's almost like a read. This is almost like a reading comprehension. All right, this is almost like a reading comprehension using data, tables or charts and figures. And you might be thinking, hey, how is this math? Yeah, it is still math because math is math is basically logic. It's not computation. Computation is one segment of mathematics. Math is more about logic than anything else. All right. So as you guys can see, uh, reading data is all about reading. Okay. Now, so we've been practicing with reading data a little bit. Now, next thing that which we're going to do is this. We're going to talk about probability. Okay. Let me propose a couple of questions to you first. Okay, here it goes. Okay, how about this one, guys? Okay, I'm getting some answers. Alrighty, guys. Now, okay, good, good, good. This topic actually is very prevalent in algebra 2. So, those of you who's taking algebra from class to class, teacher to teacher, school to school, the pacing is all different. But one of the topic in algebra 2 is called conditional probability. Okay, conditional probability. Now, let me just give you the general idea. Conditional probability is that it's not based on total. It's based on given condition. Based upon given condition, that's my denominator. And then number of favorable from that given condition. That's the conditional probability. And uh that's the major concept in SAT that they like to test you on in terms of probability. Of course, probability is far greater than this one. Like, hey, we can talk about, like, I have something event happening. What's the probability of A happening given that not B happening? We could have many different kinds of probabilities, can be discussed. Probability is a very, very large topic. We could actually have an entire course, entire year with the probability. But in SAT, guess what? They're only focused on one type. Focused. They can give you other stuff, but focused on one type, which is conditional probability. Is that clear, guys? That's the only thing that you have to master. So in this case, what's happening is this. The key word is this. Whenever they give you probability in SAT, guess what? I am looking for given condition. What is that given condition, guys? It comes here. If a first class passenger is chosen. That's the given condition. So my denominator is out of the first class passengers. So when I add them up, what do I get, guys? This is 30. Is it 45, I guess? 45 is my total. That's the given condition out of the first class passengers. What is the probability of passengers chosen preference? It's beef. Oh, 18. So we're looking at 18 out of 45. That's how we have to approach it. Is that clear, guys? So, once again, that's what I'm about to tell you is not the case for all probability questions, but only for SAT. When they look for probability, then my first thought is, hey, what is the given context? That's the first thing that you want to ask yourself. Okay. In this case, yeah, surely, the first class was the given condition. So when we look at what we get, guys, I can divide top and bottom by 9. So I get 2 out of 5, which is what choice B. Many of you guys got 2 out of 5. Is that clear, guys? Yeah. Of course, in this case, if I have to get rid of what you call it uh the first class passenger, then it would have been 80 whole thing, 80 out of entire people. Whatever that might have been. That's how we would have done it. But in this case, it was based upon first class people. All right, guys. So many of you guys started very well. Let me get you another question and see what happens here. Okay. This is a calculator question. So here it goes, guys. I'm going to give you a little bit of time for you to think about it. Okay, I have some answers. All right, good, good, good. Once again, in my opinion, I don't think the math was calculation was difficult, but rather it was the reading. Make sure, not that it was difficult, but you just have to do the reading carefully. All righty, guys. Good, good, good. All right. So in this question, actually, you guys can easily see that. Was this another conditional probability? No, this example was a little bit different one. What's my denominator? Because a vehicle is selected at random at the end of the day. At the end of the day, basically, you know, everything put together, it would have been this one. That's the total. But they gave you two possibilities. A car produced during the first shift. Ah, or truck produced during the third shift. Those two are the favorable. Those two are my numerator. So what we end up doing is 173 plus 109. When I combine them together, divide by 898, which is the combined total. Right? So then I believe that you get something like this one. How about that, guys? Is it okay? Yeah? Alrighty, guys. Good job, good job. Now, then what we wanna do is this. Okay. So give me 1 second. So then let's do just a little bit of small practice here. Okay, small practice, and then we're gonna continue. The practice that we're gonna do is this. I'm gonna uh I'm gonna share the Google form. I mean, not the Google form, but the Google Classroom. Do you see that this is our Google Classroom, right? I need everybody to go here, right? And then what I need you guys to do is, if you click on practice, this is the exam that I want you to look at, but not all the questions. We're gonna start with section 3, starting from number 11 through 15, and then what you put number 16 through 20. So that which is the free, free response questions here, right? And then 11 through 15. So that's what I need you guys to do. Is that clear, guys? So uh, I need you guys. I need you guys get yourself. I need you guys to be ready. Okay, no calculator, and your answer has to be done. The answers has to be plugged into the Google form. All right. Which question number? It says on the Google form, but number 11 through 20. So let me just write it down here. CP2, section 3, number 11 to 20. Now, the reason why I'm picking these questions is because of this reason. I've been surveying many students, and then especially the students who are doing very well, but yet still get the questions wrong. Guess where they get the questions wrong most of the time? Number 12 through 15 in section 3, or 18 through 20 in section 3. Those are the later questions essentially, right? So I want us to have the practices. That's why. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you about 15 minutes right now, and try to answer the questions at your best ability. And all of you guys need to submit your work, submit your Google form at the end. If you finish early, what are you going to do? Make sure you check it, and then check it, and then check it, and then check it. Is that clear, guys? Yeah? Okay. I'm gonna start the timer. Start very soon. Start now. All right. I want you guys to wrap up. 30 seconds left. Finishing up and then submitting your what do you call that? Answers through the Google form, please. All right. Time's up, guys. Time's up. So, I'm looking at your results here. I'd like to have more people submitting your answers, please. Okay. All right, guys. All righty, guys. So I'm looking for one more submission. One more submission, guys. All right. Now, some people ask me any, particular questions to go over, so I'm gonna go over number 11 and then 13 and 16 so far. Okay, 11, 13, and 16. Now, I give you that this wasn't a question from College Board. Okay, but it is important, right? Hear me carefully, guys. When your grade was 550, 600, then, oh, I made a silly mistake. Okay, do better next time. That's fine. That's what I say. If your grade is 500, 450, 600, oh, shoot, I made a mistake. Oh, yeah, really, it's okay. Next time, do better. Now, on the other hand, if you're looking at 750, 800, meaning high scores, guess what, guys? There's no forgiveness with your what you call it up with your mistakes. Meaning, oh hey, college board, I made a silly mistake. I was gonna do one thing, but I dang it. You know what? I made a silly mistake. College board, can you just deduct a bit less than actual points because I need a question? There's no forgiveness whatsoever. If it's wrong no matter what, right? So guess what, guys? As your score gets higher and higher and higher, guess what's happening? It becomes bigger and bigger and bigger battle within yourself. You have to do your best not to make mistakes. That's how you can improve. Make sense? That's how you can improve. So, uh, if you have any other questions, please shoot it over to me. But during this time, some of you guys taking exams in March, some of you guys taking exams in May. I need you guys to analyze the mistakes that or the things that you get wrong. So after we have gone over any questions that you have given me, I need you to give me the analysis. Why did you get that question wrong? Is that clear, guys? I need you to give me the analysis. I got it wrong because I misread. I one line. I forgot to read one word. Whatever it is, everything's very important. So make sure you guys do that, okay? I'm gonna go over number 11, 13, and 16. If you have any other questions, please let me know. We're gonna go over those things as well. Okay? So here it goes, guys. So first number uh 11. Okay. Number 12 and 14 was requested as well. Sounds good. Number 11 first. All right, so Victor wants to sell three watches, each at the same time, at the same price. Okay. After negotiating with customers, however, he ends up selling one at 30% discount, one at 20% discount, and one at 10% discount. Now, guys, whenever I see 30% discount, then I'm thinking about point 0.7 because you still sell it at 70% of the price. When one at 20% discount, then I see that as point 0.8. And then the last one, when it says Want a 10% discount, then I'm looking at what, 0.9. If the victor sold the watches for a total of $240, how much money did he lose by giving these discounts, right? So let's try to look at it. I need to figure out what x is. So my equation could have been, hey, 0.7x, because the original price was x, right? Second one is to say they have the same price. It's just sometimes you might have forgot to read that they have the same price. If they have some same price, then what do we get? Plus 0.8x plus 0.9x is equal to 240. Let's try to calculate this one. Oh, 0.7 plus 0.8 is 1.5 plus, oh, that's 2.4. X equals what? 240. Oh, wait a minute, guys. 24 is kind of nice. When I divide by 2.4, when I divide by 2.4, what's the value of x, guys? X will be equal to 100. Since it's 100, by selling 3, I would have gotten what? Total of $300. But I only have $240. So what's the discount? Discount would have been 60. So once again, this coming from 0.7, 0.8, 0.9, right? Now, another thing about this one is that, hey, when you do these questions, do you see how numbers fit together? 2.4 and 240. That's how you feel like, oh, you're doing it correctly. You know, especially these like so-called coincidence or numbers fitting together is very visible in college board exams, college board questions. So you have to have that in your mind. You good? All right, guys. Let's move on to the next question. Next question is number 12. Okay. Number 12, in the question about k and a are positive constant. If the equation is true for all values of x, that means that they are actually equal expression. What is the value of k? All right, value of k. Then in this case, one thing that which we get to realize is this. Okay, those of you who memorized, the particular expressions, then you're gonna get the answers right away. What I mean by that is this: x plus 1 square, x plus 2 square. You should memorize these, right? X plus 3 square. These are so popular that you have to memorize them. And I'm sure, I think I probably shared it with you one time, if you've been with me for a while. X squared plus what? 4x plus 4, and x squared plus 6x plus 9, right? But you're supposed to memorize these things, but I mentioned that you already memorized them, but you just don't know that you memorized them. How so? Because this can be resembled by 11 square is equal to 121. These are simply the coefficients. 11 square is 121. How about that? Right? This one is 12 square is equal to 144. And as you can see, the last one is what? 13 square is equal to 169. So if you have that in your mind, guess what, guys? When I look at the question, oh, 1 something 9, oh, this must be 169. And this is 13. Therefore, the answer is 6. That's what K is right away. How about that, guys? Is that clear, guys? So what I want you to do is I want you to work less. I want you to be lazy in a clever way. In math, in order for you to do work less during the exam, what do you have to do? You have to work more before the exam. I think that's true for anything, isn't it? Like when you play sports, when you play music, art, whatever it is, more you prepare, more efficient you become while when you're actually doing that particular thing, right? Same thing here. I want you to memorize yeah, this is very little thing, and then somebody can argue with me. Hey, Sue, I know that if I expend it, I know that I can get this. I'm not asking whether you understand. I'm not asking whether you can, get this one from here. That's not what I'm asking. I'm asking you to memorize. Because once again, why? More you memorize, more you recognize. We call that insight in math, right? All right. So next question that was requested was number 14. All right. So number 14, what do you realize? They say system has no solution. No solution. So uh so when you can when the question says no solution, what does that imply? But generally, when I have ax plus by equals to c, and then dx plus ey equals to f, when we say no solution, then that implies the coefficients has to be in proportion, as you guys know. So a over d has to be equal to b over e. Literally, just get these two things into that proportion. That's what it means. On the other hand, if we have infinitely many solutions, that means a over d, which is equal to b over e, which is equal to c over f. You can just set up the proportion all throughout. That's the difference between infinitely many versus no solution. Since it says no solution, what I can do is I can set up the proportion out of these four numbers. So I'm going to say a over 4 is equal to what? 1/2 over 3. So how can I get a? Oh, I can get a by multiplying by 4 on each side. Then a will be equal to these two cancels away. So 4 times 1/2 becomes what? 2 over 3. So therefore, it becomes 2 over 3. That's exactly what we want to do. Oh, my voice sounds like a robot. Ah, it's kind of funny. Thank you, thank you. Okay. All right, guys. How's it? Can you guys hear me okay now? Yeah? All right, good, good. Thank you. All right, guys. So that's one thing that I need you guys to realize about this one, number 14. Now, next one was number 16. Oh, number 13 was actually. Did I go for number 13? No, I didn't. Okay. Number 13 is also another one that was requested. Actually, number 13 was requested by many people. So let's see what happens. All right. So the length of the three sides of the triangles are different prime numbers. If the two sides had length in what 3 and then 11, which of the following could be the length of the third side? So this one is I want you to remember triangle inequality. As in, if I know two sides A, B, and the third side is equal to x, what do you realize about the third side? X is less than uh, A plus B, but greater than A minus B, the difference between those two numbers. All right, X has to be between these two. So what does that mean? Let's look at it, guys. Oh, it has to be less than, X has to be less than what? 14, because we're going to add them up. But greater than the difference, which is equal to what? 8. So I'm looking for numbers between these two. So only thing that's possible is what? 7 is too small, 17 is too big, only 13 is possible. Choice B would have been the answer, therefore. Is that clear, guys? That's how we can approach this question. Yeah, it was a triangle inequality. So you learned this one in geometry class, and this is something that I want you to remember here. All right? All righty, guys. Now, next one is number 16. Okay, here it goes. So I have these angles. Oh, wait a minute. By just looking at it, if this is angle Y, I realize that this is angle Y. Then, wait a minute, what do I realize? X plus Y equals 90 degrees. That's what I realize. And then they say, if Y equals 2 times of X, what is the value of Y? Y equals 2 times, so then we get X plus 2X equals 90, hence X equals what? 30. And then they're looking for value of Y becomes what? 60. So that's what we can do with number 16. Alrighty, guys. It wasn't that bad. Like this, right? Alrighty. Now, next question that was requested is number 20. Alrighty, guys. C is a constant, and if the equation has two solutions for x, and one of them is negative 3, what is the other value? What's the other solution? Okay, so how do you get this one? In fact, there are many approaches which we can do this. But I will actually share a couple ways. You know why? Because while one method is quickest for this particular question in a particular way, but the other methods can be very useful method for other context. So for this particular question, one of the way which we can do is this. You want me to find C? Okay, I'll find C, but one of the value that, one of the root, one of the solution is negative 3, then I will plug in negative 3 in place of x's. So we get negative 3 square minus 5 times negative 3. And then plus C equal to 0. Then I get 9 plus 15, right? Uh, is equal to what? Then what do we end up getting, guys? Is equal to negative C, and then negative C becomes what? A negative 24. So C becomes negative 24. Okay, I got it. Negative 24. Then we have x squared minus 5x minus 24 equal to 0. And then you will say, oh, now let me factor this one. Oh, I can factor this one as what? Oh, which two numbers multiply to negative 24 but add up to negative 5? Oh, 8 and 3, but 8 has to be negated. So x minus 8, x plus 3 equal to 0. Ah, this gets me negative 3, and then that gets me 8. So therefore, 8 must be the other solution. Whoosh. Ah, that's one way. That's one way. And then this is, a method that might have been done typically. But there are other ways as well. Another way is this. If you realize that if you know a solution, then you know a factor. What I mean by that is this. Watch this, guys. And the second method is actually one that I like the most. Here it goes. That was the first one. Second one is, hey, since I know factor, so I realize that x squared minus 5x plus c is equal to x plus 3. Why did I put x plus 3, guys? To have negative 3 as my solution. Then I needed x plus 3. And I don't know what the other one is. Okay? But when I factor them, this gets me one solution, and that one gets me another solution. And you're trying to guess. You're trying to guess what the other solution would have been. How do you get that? How do you know what this one is? Oh, okay. Let's compare. I got x squared. How will I be able to get x squared? Because my first term has to be x. Next, how do you get the middle term? Middle term is inner and outer. Inner and outer gets me the middle term. Watch this. Inner one is what? 3x. What should be my outer so that I can get negative 5x? It should be negative 8 here. So that I can have negative 8x. That's how I can get this middle term. Oh, guess what, guys? And in this case, I don't even have to find the value of c. I can get the answer right away. The other root has to be equal to 8, coming from this factor. How about that? That's the second way. Now, one of the reasons why I like the second method is because it forces us to do targeted multiplication. You understand, guys? It's not just blindly multiplying everything out, but I call it targeted multiplication. You target particular things in order for you to get particular results. So, for example, you guys know that, hey, how do you get the first term? First term is first term times first term gets you the first term. How do you get the last term? Last term is found by the what? Constant. The last term times last term gets the last term. How do you get the middle term? Middle term is inner and outer. That's a concept that's popular in SAT. So it kind of targets the multiple, things for you. Now, that was the second method. Now I'm going to give you the third method. Why do I like the third method? Third method because it talks about small minor formula, but it's very, very important for us to recognize because third one, do you guys remember sum and product formula? So for example, if I have ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0, do you remember that sum is equal to negative b over a and product is equal to c over a? Okay? I need you guys to write those things down just in case if you forgot. Oh, I knew that. That's not good enough. Then I need you to write it down. Soon as I said the word, do you remember the sum and product? And then you knew the formula already. Then and only then you don't have to write it down. But if you say, "Oh, I recognize that. Oh, I remember," not good enough. I need you to write them down as a process. Alrighty. So how would you use this one? Oh, you will use it in this way. Because when you look at negative 5 as a middle coefficient, what is the sum? I realize the sum has to be negative of negative 5 over 1. I mean, I'm writing like this, but you knew that it was equal to 5 anyway. Sum is 5. But sum is found by one root, which is negative 3. The other root, I don't know what the other root is. That's the equation. So 5 equals negative 3 plus r. What's r? R equals 8. The other root is equal to 8. Third one is another way for you to do it. So in my opinion, I think third one is the simplest. I get that. And the second one and the first one is the longest. But I think it's important for you to know all three ways. Are you guys good so far? Yeah? All right. Now, then what I want you guys to do is this. I'm going to give you about 2 to 3 minutes. Can you guys look at the questions that you got wrong one more time? Okay, and then go through in your mind why you got wrong, how you got wrong, and I want you to actually write down. I want you to actually write down why you got particular questions wrong. Okay, and then submit it to me through the Google Classroom message. Not to everybody, just to me. Do you guys know how to do that? So what I want you to do is, or just shoot it over to me through the chatting. I'll just accept that. That might be easiest. Okay. So if you got everything right, you can say, hey, I don't have anything wrong. You can say that if you want to. No reflection. I don't need to reflect. I got nothing wrong. Or if you got anything wrong, I want you to write down why you got them wrong. This 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 term, I'm going to actually focus on that a little bit, because you need to analyze yourself a little bit. Because everybody, does it slightly differently. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, some people said, "Oh, I forgot about some concept or formula." That's fine. So those are the things that you want to memorize them for the next time, right? Good, good, good. I need you guys to type it up for all the things that you guys got wrong. Why you got wrong? I need you to do that for me. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you for giving me the your own mini reflection here. Okay, thank you for uh when you say you don't know what to do, can you be a bit more specific? Like, what does that mean? That might be helpful for you to reflect it later on. You know, like I didn't know what to do. Oh, okay, but it can mean so many different things. You didn't know what to do because you misread something. That can be one. Or you didn't know what to do because you didn't know the particular formula. You know. So if you can be a bit more specific, I think that would be much better. Okay. So in case of number 20, the first thing is, can you understand any one of these three ways? You don't always have to go for one way or the other. You know? Okay. Okay, somebody says, "Oh, yeah, because I forgot to read one phrase." Now, so we're gonna after each practice, we're gonna quite often we're gonna have these kind of times, a mini reflection, okay? And then I'm gonna save the chatting a little bit so that hopefully I can keep it as my own record of you guys. Now, simple. There is no concrete way. I mean, people think that how do you improve your SAT score? One way is when your math gets better, your score gets better. I think that's one, right? That's one. But it's kind of vague. How can you increase your math? Yeah, I can help you with that. I can help you with that a little bit. And then another thing is, hey, you gotta able to see the question in a way that the author is intending you guys to read. That's something that I like to do that a lot. When the question is given, how do you have to view it? Right? That's one thing. That's something that I've been doing every single time, every single session. Because some of you guys been with me in multiple sessions, right? And then that's something that I've been always been doing. Perspective. How do you view it? Great. Now this semester, one of the things that I'm going to focus on is this. One bottom line is, hey, if you don't get same kind of questions wrong, then your score will improve no matter what. Would you agree? But the funny thing is, when I talk to some people, they say, hey, Suk, I always get this kind of questions wrong. They say, hey, Suk, I always get that question wrong. Then my question is, okay, then why don't you do something about it? You know what you get wrong. Meaning, what I mean by that is, I always misread questions. I always misread the questions. Then when you check it, what should be, or when you approach the questions, what should have been your approach? Being careful about reading. Like knowing what your weaknesses are and then approaching it, that can definitely help you in terms of your scores. Are you guys with me so far? So during this semester, that's one thing that I like to focus on throughout. So that's why I'm asking you guys to write down your mini own reflections. And I need you guys to remember that, how to do it. So right now, for our next a few minutes, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you alternate questions to the questions that which we just have done. Okay, I'm going to make a few questions because I explained it. Of course, you should know it everything, right? No, not necessarily. You might need a little bit more practice. So here are a few alternate questions from what you guys asked me. That's the first question. As soon as you have an answer, shoot it over to me. Okay, so I'm getting some answers. Good, good, good. Now, this is one of the classic questions that SAT like to use more now than before. How do you find this one of the missing numbers? So in order for you to find k, the middle term, what do? As I mentioned, middle term is found by multiplying inner by inner and outer by outer. Inner, I get that. That's negative 2x. But outer, I have no idea. How to get the outer? Because I don't know what b value is. Well, how can you get b value? Oh, because of 6. 6 is found by last times last is 6. So in fact, you get to realize that negative 2 times something has to be positive 6. Oh yeah, then b is equal to negative 3. How about that, guys? Okay, so that's what you can do. Then outer now becomes negative 3x. When I combine them, k must be equal to negative 5. Is that clear, guys? Now, some of you guys might be thinking, "Hey, Suk, I didn't do it that way. I multiplied everything out, and then I can still get the answer, and then I got it correct. So, I don't have to do it your way, guys. Uh, when you want to score high on the SAT, not only getting the answers correct, but how you get the answer, how effectively can you get the answer? That's as important. Is that clear, guys? I mean, not as slightly less, but still very important. All right, how you get the answers, especially if you struggle with time, especially if you feel like you want to increase your time, then you definitely want to know how other people are doing it. And if that's better, if that's efficient, you need to pick it up and make it in your own. All right. So that was one question. Next question. Okay. If you have an answer, shoot it over to me, guys. Okay, I have one answer. Good, good, good. If you have an answer, shoot it over to me, guys. All righty. Good, good. Oh, not quite, not quite. It's actually fraction. Your answer would be a fraction. It ends up being a fraction, not an integer, actually. Alrighty, guys. So I'm gonna get going here one more time. So what do? In order for me to do this one, I'm gonna bring this one over to the other side. So I get 2x minus 7y equals 4, but negative kx plus 4y equals 5. I can set it up this way and then set up the proportion. Then my proportion is, using these numbers, 2 over negative k is equal to negative 7 over 4. So multiply them across so you can get 7k equals 8. What's the value of k, guys? It's 8 over 7. So that's how you can get it. Is that clear, guys? Alrighty, alrighty. Now, next question. All right, how about this, guys? If you have an answer, shoot it over to me, guys. Good. So somebody just gave me, oh, how about this one or that one? I'm not sure. In fact, there is only one answer. And then that's important. And then how do you know? By the concept of which we talked about earlier. Make sense? Yeah. I think somebody might have misread the question. I'm looking for the perimeter of the triangle, not the other side. Yeah, yeah. All right. So actually, I'm getting two different kind of answers, right? And then somebody said, "Hey, I'm not sure which one," because when we say isosceles triangle, then you know that two sides are equal to each other. Would you agree? Two sides. All right. So that means in this case, I have two options. Is it 3, 10, or is it 3, 10, 10? Which one is it? You know, that's the question that we have out of those two. How do you know? By applying the uh, triangle inequality, right? So we get, if I have 3 and then 10, what do I realize about the third side? Third side, x has to be less than the sum, which is what? 13, but greater than the difference, which is what? 7. X has to be between 7 and 13, so it cannot be another 3. In fact, if you have 3 and 3, 3, 3, 10, then this cannot be a triangle, because if that's 10, that's 3, that's 3, and they cannot even meet. You know, it's like a penguin. Whee! You know, you cannot really, you cannot, it's like a little penguin. I cannot make a triangle. My arms are too short. You guys don't get it, do you? It's okay. Okay, now, so But if I have 10, 10, 3, then I should be able to get the triangle. So this one works. Therefore, my answer is about 23. How about that, guys? Is it okay? All right. Now, we're just going to do one more practice here. One more practice. All right. This time, I'm going to do a bit shorter practice. On the Google form, I gave in the questions number from 26 through 30 and then 34 through 38, but I'm just going to focus on the multiple choice component. CP4, I mean CP2, same practice exam, right? CP2, 4B, number 26 to 30. Only 5 questions. All right? Only 5 questions. And I need you guys to put the answers on the Google form. All right? Put down the answers in Google form. So give me 1 second. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you about 9 minutes. All right? Start now. All right, guys, time's up. So I need you guys to submit your work. All right. All righty. Good, good, good. All right, guys. Can you guys submit your answers? It's only the 5 questions. You don't have to go all the way. First five, 26 through number 30. That's it. Okay, guys. Good, good, good. That's fine. Whatever you have done, that's fine. Just, you know, good, 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 guys. All righty. And as you know, I cannot penalize you for anything anyway. I'm not taking off any points, whatever you do, right? Just, do your best, uh, as much as you can every single time. That's all that matters right now. All right, guys. Then I'm thinking, as we close, I think you want us to go over a couple of questions here, right? These are the section four is very heavy on data analysis, reading data, probability, and things of that sort. Kind of relates to what we have done earlier today. So, through the chat, can you guys shoot me any particular question or questions that you want us to look at? Yeah, number 30. Ooh, number 30 is quite popular. All right. Number 30. You guys really don't like number 30, do you, huh? 29. Okay, got it. Number 29 and 30. 30 again. Ooh. Okay, 29 again. And number 26. So I'm going to go for number 26, 29, 30. All right? All righty, guys. So, okay, I'm going to go for 26. Okay, starting from number 26 here. It's based on this one. So in this question, what is the mean weight of all harvested lobsters? So here we have in the table below gives the distribution of the weight of the nearest pound of the 50 lobsters harvested of the Maine and then Massachusetts. So we want to see mean weight of everything. So what we have to do is we have to use a calculator, guys. I'm going to take out my calculator, and I want you guys to take out your calculators as well. All right? Now, but as you guys are doing it, you guys can see that they didn't say about Maine nor Massachusetts. It's for all of them. So in fact, how many 1 pounders do I have? Combine them together, we have 50. How many 2 pounders do I have? We have 35. How many 3 pounders? We have 13. And then we have two of the what? 4 pounders. So that's the frequency. You see, that's the frequency. And that's the values. So when you take out your calculator, so what I want to do is this. I want to go to the stat, edit. Go to stat, edit, and L1, I'm going to clear everything for you for now. L1 is the values of X. L2 is the frequency. So L1 is 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. L2, I need to type in the what do you call that? A frequency here, which is 50, because I got to combine them together. 50, 35, 13, and 2. So here I have 50. Oh, I forgot the second one. 35, 13. 35, 13, and 2. And then once you guys come up to this point, I need you guys to calculate. How do you calculate this one? Go to the stat and calc. We're not going to go for two var stat. We're going to stay in one var stat. The reason is frequency is simply how many of the first variable that we have. So I'm just going to stay in the one var stat. List is L1, the frequency is L2. In our case, this was the case. If you don't have L2, for example, for some people might have blank right over here. You can type in L2. How? By press second, number 2. You see number 2? That gets you L2. And go down, calculate, press enter. Then do you see this one? That's your average, 1.67. So choice C becomes the answer. Okay, guys? So that's basically what you guys can do. You don't have to do it by hand. And in fact, one drawback being in the honors classes all the time. For some of you guys, you guys always been in honors class. Okay, we discourage you guys using calculators at schools, don't we? And I do that as well while I'm teaching at school. And then so sometimes we get afraid of using the calculator. We get very rusty. We want to do everything by hand. But in section 4, if you can use calculator, be my guest. Okay, sometimes that's more efficient, and then you can get it quickly. All right, so now let's look at number 29 and 30. Those are the two popular or two infamous questions hated by everybody else. Number 29 here. All right, so here, Taylor had a bank account earning 5% interest compounded annually. Okay, her initial deposit was $1,000. So if I read up to here, I'm thinking, in my mind, I'm not saying that this is the answer, but in my mind, I have, 1,000 initial value, and then 5% annual interest. So 1.05 to the t power. That's what I'm thinking in my mind. But she makes a withdrawal of $200 after what? 3 years. After 3 years. Which of the following represent total amount in her account after 7 years? Right? So then, what's actually happening? All right. Did you realize that initial $1,000 would have increased at this rate for 7 years? It would have. But the thing is, after year 3, he ended up taking $200 off. Guys, hear me carefully, guys. Where did he take off $200? He didn't take off $200 from $1,000. No. He took off $200 in the middle of accumulating interest. In other words, all the interest that which you would have gotten from this 200, not taking them out, you not only lost 200 itself, but you lost interest that would have come along with that $200. All those things are lost as well. So then, how do you compensate for all those things? So my original would have been 1,000 times 1.05 to the 7th power. That's what I would have had. But because I subtracted $200, this $200 is not only I'm losing out $200, but all the interest that I would have gotten from those $200. For how many years? Since I took it year 3, that means the other 4 years that I would have gained interest, those things are lost as well. So therefore, my equation becomes something like this, which is choice D. That becomes our answer. Okay. Okay, my brother just sent the text to everybody, I guess, right? You guys have English Google Classroom at 1:30 for practice test. Okay, just wanted to let you guys know. All right, so let's go for number 30 quickly. All right, so A and B weighs total of 300 pounds, and A and J weighs total 280, and then J and B weighs this much. How many pounds A, B, and J weigh together? So this basically means A plus B is equal to 300. This is classic example. A plus J is equal to 280, and then B, uh, J plus B, B plus J is equal to what? 350. All right. What is A plus B plus J? Oh, wait a minute. Equation has only two out of the three components. Oh, yeah, wait a minute. What if I add all three equations? Then I get two A's plus two B's plus two J's. But when I add them up, what do I get, guys? It becomes 5, 8. Is it 930? But oh, wait a minute. I'm looking for half of that, isn't it? So I'm looking for half of 930, which becomes 465. That becomes our answer, which is choice D. How about that, guys? Is that good? Yeah? All righty, guys. So, with that, we are closing up for today, and I'll see you next week. And then I need you guys to stretch, everybody, one time. Stretch. Yay. All right. That's right. Come on, stretch. Jacob, come on, stretch. Lucia, stretch. Mia, stretch. And then go to the English class right now. See you guys next week. Bye.